So this video is simply to help you understand a little bit more about subacromial impingement in the shoulder and what exactly that is. So let's start by looking at our anatomy. Your collarbone at the front of your shoulder meets your shoulder blade at the back, and those two bones together collectively form your shoulder socket. So your arm looks a bit like this. Yep. Now your arm bone then comes up and the ball meets into the socket there. Now the socket part of the shoulder is actually quite shallow. So if you can imagine like a golf ball to a tee, the socket doesn't really do a great job of holding the ball in the socket. And as a result, we're really dependent on four little muscles as well as tendons and ligaments to help hold the ball in the socket. And those little muscles are called your rotator cuff tendons. So the problem with subacromial impingement is that for some reason, there can be a couple of reasons for this, is that the space underneath the top of the socket has started to become smaller and creates a pinch of either the tendon or the bursa nearby. Now bursas are just simply little sacs of fluid. You've got them all over your body, your elbows, your knees. They protect bony prominences, and a bursa can swell up if it's got compressive load on it for some reason. So as you take your arm out to the side, there should be enough space right here, for that bursa and that tendon to pass through without compressing on or bashing on each other. Now, there's a couple of reasons, but one of the reasons is if your rotator cuff muscles aren't working effectively or efficiently, the ball is not very stable in the socket. So if the ball slides around in the socket, it can tend to create that impingement underneath the top of the socket, which can tend to start to create a swelling in the underlying bursa and sometimes compression on the nearby tendon. So one of the reasons for subacromial impingement is a weakness or a muscle imbalance in the little rotator cuff muscles that help hold the ball in the socket nice and stable. The other common reason for subacromial impingement is if the collarbone, for some reason, is dropping down or forward. Can you see how that space gets a lot narrower? So for that reason, your physio will talk to you about how to set your shoulder blade and get your collarbone, what we call smiling, so collarbone up and back, because as soon as that collarbone comes up and back, there's a little bit more space for arm movement without pinching on bursas and tendons. So the two most common reasons that we see for subacromial impingement is one, poor control or loss of strength through the shoulder blade and socket muscles. And so your physiotherapist might give you some exercises to help build that strength. The other most common reason is imbalance or weakness through the little rotator cuff muscles that hold the ball in the socket stable. And sometimes it's a combination of problems. Now, of course, there can be a few other reasons for subacromial impingement, like if you've had a fall and you've torn a tendon or damaged a bursa in that way. Other reasons can include your posture, so stiffness through your rib cage or tightness in your neck. So your physiotherapist will guide you how to manage this, but it's just a little explanation so you understand what it is that's happening to your shoulder and how we can start helping you move forward with it.